to Copilot Podcasts. The Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2 for the first time since 2014. Daniel Jones somehow has the Colts at 2-0, and according to Action Network, underdogs of 5.5 points or more are going 9-1 against the spread this season. Today, we're diving into NFL Week 3 predictions through the lens of Mike Salim's analysis, exploring how experts actually make their picks and why this might be the most unpredictable season in recent memory. By the end of this episode, you'll understand what separates real prediction expertise from noise and how to spot value in a chaotic NFL landscape.
So let's start with what makes this Week 3 so fascinating. According to CBS Sports, we're seeing backup quarterbacks taking center stage, Jake Browning leading the Bengals against Carson Wentz and the Vikings, while Russell Wilson gets a shot at Patrick Mahomes in what they're calling a potential upset scenario.
Wait, backup quarterbacks are headlining Week 3? That's wild. But before we get into the specific matchups, help me understand something. Who is Mike Salim, and what makes his predictions worth talking about?
That's actually a great question, and here's where it gets interesting. The search results mention combos and kayfabe in connection with NFL predictions, but they don't give us a clear picture of Mike Salim specifically. What we do have is a fascinating look at how NFL predictions work in general.
Kayfabe? Like wrestling kayfabe? That's an intriguing connection.
Exactly. And that connection might be more relevant than you'd think. In wrestling, kayfabe is the illusion that what you're watching is real competition rather than entertainment. In sports predictions, there's often a similar dynamic. The line between genuine analysis and entertainment can get blurry.
That's actually brilliant. So you're saying some prediction content is more about the show than the actual accuracy?
Well, let's look at what the data tells us about prediction accuracy. According to research from Tipster GPT, the best prediction platforms maintain around 83% accuracy across 50,000 plus matches. But that's for soccer. For NFL, the numbers are quite different.
Different how?
Well, according to Accurate Tip's 4-day rolling statistics, even top prediction services show win rates around 80 to 85% for different market types. But here's the kicker. That's over a very short time frame. The longer the sample size, the more those numbers tend to regress toward 50 to 60%.
So most experts are basically flipping coins?
Not exactly. What's happening is more nuanced. Take Joe Bartel from RotoWire. He went 12-4 against the spread in Week 2, but his season record is 20-12, which is good but not spectacular. The key is understanding that short-term hot streaks don't necessarily indicate long-term skill.
Okay, so let's get into the actual Week 3 landscape. What makes this week so unpredictable?
According to CBS Sports, we've got some absolutely wild storylines. Justin Herbert is apparently a favorite to win MVP, which is surprising given the Chargers' usual struggles. Meanwhile, preseason Super Bowl contenders like the Ravens and Bengals are sitting at 0-2.
The Ravens at 0-2? That seems impossible.
Right? And here's what makes it even crazier. According to RotoWire, Baltimore became the first team in history to lose a game while scoring 40-plus points and rushing for 235-plus yards. They've topped 40 points in back-to-back games, but are only one because of Josh Allen.
That's actually insane. You score 40 points and still lose? How does that even happen?
It speaks to how explosive offenses have become, but also how unpredictable this season is. And speaking of unpredictable, let's talk about the Chiefs. According to CBS Sports, they're off to their first 0-2 start since 2014, the last time they missed the playoffs.
Wait, the Chiefs might miss the playoffs? That feels like saying the sun might not rise tomorrow.
Well, historically speaking, only 3 teams have won the Super Bowl after an 0-2 start, and the last was Eli Manning's Giants in 2007. But here's where it gets interesting. For Week 3, the Chiefs are looking to notch their first win when they visit the Giants in prime time.
So we could literally watch the Chiefs go 0-3? That would break the internet.
Exactly. And according to the Spread.com's consensus picks, they have the Chiefs favored by 6 points with an under 45.5 total. The reasoning is that KC can still create explosive plays, and the Giants' tempo helps with late scoring.
Let's zoom out for a second. How do these prediction sites actually work? Like, what's the methodology behind all this?
Great question. According to Team Rankings, their premium predictions are driven by computer models that analyze millions of data points. They use statistical techniques like decision trees, similarity scores, and power ratings to generate picks.
Decision trees? That sounds very technical.
It is, but the concept is actually pretty straightforward. A decision tree basically asks a series of yes or no questions about a game, like, is the home team favored? Did they win their last game? Is their starting quarterback healthy? And uses the answers to predict outcomes.
That makes sense. But if it's all data-driven, why are there such different predictions across different sites?
Because they're weighing different factors. Look at the Spread.com's approach. They factor in injury reports, line movements, and public money trends. Meanwhile, RotoWire focuses more on matchup analysis and recent performance trends.
So it's like different chefs using the same ingredients but different recipes?
Perfect analogy. And speaking of different approaches, let's look at some specific Week 3 picks. According to RotoWire's Joe Bartel, he likes the Bills minus 12.5 against Miami, calling it a blowout waiting to happen.
Minus 12.5? That's a huge spread for an NFL game.
It is, but Bartel's reasoning is that you can't watch Miami's performances over the past 2 weeks and think Thursday's contest will be competitive. He specifically mentions Mike McDaniel's post-game press conferences as evidence of the team's morale issues.
Wait, he's using press conference vibes as part of his analysis? That's fascinating.
Right? It shows how prediction analysis goes beyond just stats. It's about reading the room, understanding team dynamics, and factoring in psychological elements that don't show up in box scores.
That brings us back to the kayfabe element, doesn't it? There's this performance aspect to NFL analysis.
Absolutely. And here's where it gets really interesting. According to Action Network, this season has been the year of the dog. Underdogs of 5 or more points are 9-1 against the spread with 5 outright wins.
9-1? That's not sustainable, right?
Definitely not. But it tells us something important about this season. The conventional wisdom isn't working. Teams like the Buccaneers and Raiders won outright as touchdown underdogs in Week 2. Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, and Sam Darnold are posting MVP-level numbers.
Sam Darnold having an MVP-level season. Now I know we're in the upside down.
It's wild, right? And this is where prediction analysis becomes really challenging. When the unexpected becomes the norm, how do you adjust your models? Do you chase the trend or assume it's regression to the mean?
That's a great point. So what are the experts actually recommending for Week 3?
Let's look at the Spread.com's consensus picks. Their top play is Cincinnati +3 against Minnesota with 4 out of 5 confidence. They note that the market moved towards Cincinnati all week, and the key factor is the Vikings' offensive line versus pressure.
So they're betting on the Bengals to keep it close or win outright?
Exactly. And remember, this is with Jake Browning at quarterback for Cincinnati. It's another example of how this season is defying expectations. They also like Indianapolis minus 4.5 against Tennessee, citing a trench edge and early down success.
Trench edge, that's talking about the offensive and defensive lines, right?
Right. It's where games are often won and lost, but it's not always reflected in the flashy stats. The Colts apparently have a significant advantage in line play, which should translate to controlling the game flow.
This is where I find prediction analysis really interesting. It's not just about who scores more points, but how they get there.
Exactly. And speaking of how teams get there, let's talk about the Monday Night Football game, Lions at Ravens. According to RotoWire, this could be a potential Super Bowl matchup, even though it's only Week 3.
Lions in the Super Bowl. I mean, I love the optimism, but that feels like a stretch.
Well, consider this. Jared Goff just posted a 5-0 touchdown to interception ratio with an 82.1% completion rate against the Bears. Plus, they have this rookie Isaac Tesla, who's made 2 one-handed catches for 42 yards and a touchdown in his first 2 career receptions.
Okay, that's actually pretty impressive. But the Ravens are still the Ravens, right?
True, but here's the thing. Baltimore has topped 40 points in back-to-back games and is only 1-1. There's clearly something off with their formula this year. The Spread.com has Baltimore favored by 4.5 with an under 52.5 total.
An under in a Ravens-Lions game? That seems counterintuitive given what you just said about their offensive output.
It does, but the reasoning is about defensive fronts and protection mismatches. Sometimes the most explosive offenses can get neutralized by the right defensive scheme. It's another example of how prediction analysis goes beyond surface-level stats.
So we've covered the methodology, the specific